Hey everyone, Snark with Snark's Domain. Today we're going to be applying some Gelid GN Ultimate 10 watt thermal putty to the test card. And then I got to go to, well, then we'll process the data from the 6 watt stuff. Then I got to go to sleep and then wake up in, I don't know, 5, 6 hours. 6 hours would be 3:30 a.m. Yeah, I think 5.5. Then I got to go to work. Probably be gone for probably 5 or 6 days. Maybe longer, maybe shorter. But yeah, I'll be able to get this thing up and running and testing, and then I'll be able to remote in and take like snapshots and start the next test, so that when I get back, then I can just take the card apart again and yeah, apply the next putty. Good times. Hopefully you guys are having a good night. Snark eats putty for energy. Yeah, I mean, if I did, I'd be pretty energetic. That would be because I got a lot of putty. A lot of thermal putty. Okay, let's take a look at what the 6 watt stuff looks like when you crack the card open. Pretty good. This one's nice because it's not super messy, which I kind of like. Let's can I go to the microscope? Let's turn the microscope on. I just want to show you what this is pretty good core contact here. Microscope. Let's see. I just got to move it around and we'll bring it into focus. Like, look how thin that paste is. Like a little bit on the right side, but that's nice and thin. And if we go up to, let's see, the core, we'll get focused on that. Isn't that cool? That's like a pretty good, I'm just gonna play with the polarization. I just got to play with this thing. I got to get used to using it, so that's why we're doing that. Anywho, I'll get that turned off and we're going to start cleaning this stuff up. Oh, did my music? No, it's still going. Okay. I'm thinking of getting a different headset at some point, because I don't need or ever use the microphone from this Razer headphones, or headset, I guess I should say. I'm just always using my dedicated microphone, but there's a volume and like mute button on the headphone cable, and every once in a while I'm like bumping that or accidentally adjusting the volume, and it kind of gets annoying when that happens. So it's not like a huge priority though. I don't need anything crazy fancy, but eventually when it makes sense I'll probably change. Yeah, so clean up that, all I did was scoop it off. Can you guys see? Like, this is not messy at all. Let's zoom in to, like, it's just, there's a light film there, right? That's TGPP10, which we're still rocking on the VRM. It's a little dirty. It's fine. We're not measuring the VRM. This is just like a light film right there. Not much to it. So we should be able to clean it up. just with, like, I'm not going to get in here with the toothbrush today, I don't think. We're just going to wipe it up like this. A little makeup wipe. And some isopropyl. Same with the paste. Yeah, I wish I'd decided to use, or figured out the whole makeup wipe thing a lot sooner. Because initially I was just rocking Q-tips, and those work, but not as good, or, well, for most of the cleaning, not as good as a makeup wipe. And these things apply a lot less pressure than a Q-tip does. So it's actually less concentrated force, I should say. These Q-tips are quite focused, but sometimes they're good for around the die. So they have their purpose for sure. I should probably change that zoom a little bit, but that one works. Gonna clean around the core here. Hey Curry, how's it going? You're not late again. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change the background color of that chat box. I'm not going to do that now. Another stream, maybe like at the end of the stream, I can play around with whether I can change those colors real time without it messing something up. I just don't want to take that chance midstream. I spent like a little while on the charts today, just like I haven't posted a chart. I've just been live streaming the updates, but I haven't actually like posted them to the Discord or the Google Sheets. And part of that was because I wanted to confirm the measurements for particle size using my good set of calipers. So I did that, filled that all in, and then just sort of looked at the charts, figured out where I had been missing some of the data. Like I didn't fully fill out the ETC hash full chart on stream because we were just focused on like the putty and then the putty one and for Mark Kapow. So did all that. This is a pretty clean card now. That didn't take long at all to clean up. Yeah, that's a good putty that way. I think it performed pretty good. I mean, we watched it for a little bit on stream. Yesterday or the day before. I think that was yesterday. Unless that was the day before. Man, I lose track of time. Things just sort of like blend together. That might have been 2 days ago, for all I know. It's kind of what happens when I've got a job on my mind I'm going to be going out to, so. Alright, we've got this cleaned up. And let's, I kind of want to use the microscope to apply thermal paste. I don't know if you guys like that or not, but how's the GN6 result? We shall see, my friend. We shall see very soon. There you are, NVIDIA. Get a good look at the die. You can see the little bit of conformal coating around the core, kind of like cracking from and like starting to clean off around those little pins. So yeah, that's normal. That's what multiple times cleaned conformal coating looks like. I am going to just wipe this up a little bit. Make sure it's clean. Obviously it's scratched TL Spitz, how's it going? Marvelous. It looks tasty though. Green, pink, blue. Why not? Yeah, no doubt. All right, we're gonna apply some MX4 for test purposes. The amount of paste I apply is probably overkill, but the method that I do to spread it chops the amount down quite a bit, so that's why I've been doing it this way. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We'll just put a little dot in the middle. Where's the stream chat located? The stream chat is located in the Discord server. Below, it's in the chat. It's like not below general, below community media. Yeah, in there. I might move that up to next to the new video. I don't know. We'll see. I'll leave it there for now though. The Microscope has a microphone. Yeah, I don't need to use that. I'm sure it's like super high quality sound through a microscope. Yeah, doubtful. All right. Let's do gloves. Yeah, let's do gloves. I'm going to be hand rolling the putty today because it is hand rollable and this is my preferred method. And I'm confident I can hit that 6mm mark pretty bang. So for the roll size. Okay, so that is the 6-watt stuff. Only thing, this is the smallest thing. This is not even an issue, but Gelid could probably make their containers look different. Like you guys can see, it's blurry for the watt. So right now they all just look the same, and you wouldn't know which one's which. But that's the 10-watt there. 6-watt 4. Just like they're just all the same color container. That's the smallest thing though. I mean, it's fine. They could just make the 10-watt bigger. Like all this space here, just put like a big, yeah. Oh, I see. This is like clearly a roll of probably tape, because it the label starts kind of wherever, roughly here, ends there, and then starts again there. Sorry, starts there. Oh, except it's not, because this one doesn't have a 10-watt there, so they do have to have like it twice. Either way, we're gonna get to rolling. You guys are probably getting bored of me talking about random stuff. Yeah, let's roll this out and then we'll... Snacks, you mentioned like the logs that I roll are almost look like they come out of a tube. Thanks. How I do that is, I think, I'm just holding my fingers at a 45 to the putty, so not straight on. If I go straight on, it's gonna kind of be like up and down like this, right? If I hold my fingers on a 45 to the putty and I just kind of like roll it a little bit, take my hand up, and I can kind of see where it's thicker, where it's thinner. Let's say I roll it too much, right? We can see that that's too small and it's kind of like awkward. You just take it and squeeze it back together like that and roll it again. It's pretty forgiving stuff. Yeah. Anywho, let me just touch this up a little bit. That looks good to me, except for the end here. Yeah. I'm going to take a little bit of putty, and because this stuff is not super sticky, which is fine. I don't mind that. This one does lay down a nice little bit of film there. Syringe. Easy lugs. Yeah, you can totally put putty into a syringe, cut the nozzle to like whatever, 6-7 millimeters, squeeze out the logs, and then just roll them thinner as needed. You're starting off with like an ideal, like perfect cylinder, so nothing wrong with doing that for sure. Let's see if we can get into focus with the where the putty's going. And I'm just going to chop these to length, and then roughly, anyways. So this putty's pretty soft. It's not hard at all. It's not too soft. I think it's just about right. I was trying to think if it is quite soft, but I wouldn't call it too soft because I'm able to move the logs. You see how it deforms though when I pick it up and move it? It's on the softer side. Like it wouldn't hurt if it was a little bit stiffer, but it doesn't need to be. The logs don't have to look perfect. And I could have, let's zoom out here for a second. I could have, one more, sorry. I could have like lifted up the log like this and then placed it on, and then it would be less deformed. So maybe we'll try that with this one. Cut that to length. And I'll just sort of scoop it up and then lay it down, and then it kind of lays pretty nice. Now with this putty, because it's not sticking a ton at the ends, I'm using the spreader to just make it connected to the card a little bit. Like I said, it's not sticky stuff at all, but definitely super soft. What's the particle size? Right, let's do that. Might as well. I don't know if I have measured that yet on this. So we've got the 10 watt stuff here. That'll be interesting if they're rocking out an 18. That's what it's kind of looking like. But let's double check. Yeah, that's, wow. That's actually 0.01 of a millimeter larger than Honeywell HT10000. That is those are some big particles. So you wouldn't use this putty if we're going off of my 3 times factor. That's just what I've kind of like come up with based on my experience with like shims and stuff. But that measurement will times it by 3, and that's roughly how thin I think we'll be able to get the putty when we put it on the card. So 0.18. Yeah, that's recorded on the stream, so I'll be able to go back the next day and figure that out. Okay, I'm going to take my gloves off here and put on a different glove. And we're going to reshape this TGPP10. Yeah, the softness is good. I'm hesitant to call it like too soft because it's not. It like the log's held together. It's just, and it's okay that they flop. Yeah, I think it's good. Good softness. This glove did not go on very well at all today. These are not my favorite gloves. Hopefully I'll burn through these pretty quick and then get a box of the couple boxes, maybe a 3-pack of the good ones. I like the medical supply ones that are, yeah, those 4.5 mils. It's my currently what I'm enjoying using, as opposed to the ones I'm wearing right now. Man, this TGPP10 is still doing its job. Good job, TGPP10. Not the best putty in them anymore, but you know, you can't hate the stuff, because it used to be all we had. Used to be all we had. We didn't used to have satellite radio and Spotify in our cars. We used to play cassette tapes, and then after that it was CDs and like AM FM radio. Those were the days. Guess we still have AM FM radio, but my car's got a CD player, and I actually have a sleeve of CDs in there. Every once in a while it's just nice going for a drive and just popping in an album, and yeah, it's just like a different feel than putting on your Spotify or YouTube music, or whichever music app you're using, playlist. We've just gotten so used to like instant listen to any song in the world that you want to, and if it doesn't download in like 10 seconds, we're like, the internet. But we used to go on road trips where, like, before the internet days, and like all you had was the music you brought with you, so you had to like plan it well, and you couldn't bring all of your CDs. You had to kind of limit it to like, you know, less than 100 typically. That's like pretty limiting, because what if you're in the mood to like all of a sudden listen to Simon and Garfunkel? Simon and Garfunkel. And if you didn't bring that the greatest hits album with you, what kind of road trip is it anyways? Probably not a very good one, if you ask me. Yeah, let's bring CDs back. Perfect particle size for GPUs. Yeah, I don't think this will be a laptop putty, unless the gaps are realistically over 1 millimeter. Yeah, like 0.6 is probably where I would call the limit, but you could like the absolute limit in a way. Okay, so the tilt test, it actually is sticking enough that it's not falling, so that's good. That's what we want to see. And you know what I forgot to do again? I forgot to clean this one screw hole over here, but that's unfortunate, because we're not gonna pull this apart right now just to do that. That's okay. I'm sure it'll work out fine. Still my preferred way of storing photos and whatnot for long periods without worrying data corruption. Yeah, you know, I still have like mixed CDs from, let's see, like 22 years ago, and they've got some scratches on them, and they still play. To 25 years ago. I don't play them often, but the data is still there, like the ones and zeros. Particle size UTP-8 is 0.14. Get these spring screws. Yeah, spring screws going in. And then we'll process some data. We'll look at the chart, kind of see, we can look at particle sizes a little bit. Because I wasn't expecting this one to have a 0.18 particle size. That might be a good sign. Now, larger doesn't actually mean better. That's not a metric that you can judge a putty by, but the larger they have for like the largest particle, which is what we're measuring. We're not measuring the smallest particle. We're measuring the largest ones. The larger they have that size means there's a better chance that they can have more varying sizes of putty that are like keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah, which gives them a higher percentage of fill rate. So, because each size gives you what, like, I think it's 66% fill rate if it's a perfect sphere. Just going off of that tech ingredients video, well, there's two of them where he was talking about thermal paste that he made. The one that he sent to LTT. But that guy went into depth on some cool, like, knowledge about thermal interface materials. And so yeah, it was good to see. Well, even on when Gamers Nexus did that factory tour of Der Bauer's shop, they kind of, like, you could see them making thermal paste in that really awesome, was it like dual oscillating mixer with like the vacuum pump and everything. And I think they used like 3 different sizes, unless it was 4. I'll have to go back. But like even for thermal paste, they were using at least 3 different sizes of particles. And that'll get you pretty high up in the fill rate for sure. Like putties are aiming for that 95+% if they're trying to be a good putty. So this putty might, it depends on like whether, just because this particle is larger, whether they've added another increment or not. I think it was like a factor of 10, so if we're calling this one almost 0.2, just for ease of talking about it, then the next increment would be 0.02. And you have to keep going down. So it's not that it would give you that much more space necessarily, or like most of the putties are within that, 0.1 to 0.18 now, I guess we'll say. A lot of the higher performing ones are in that 0.15-ish plus or minus range. So, okay, we've got the card back together. Oh, except I have to do those 3 screws. And we'll process some data. That'd be cool though if this stuff outperformed UTP-8, because that would, well, it'd be another like awesome putty for a reasonable price, and it would probably mean good things for the Jarapad putties. So I need to get another wipe here. We definitely have to clean the PCI Express connector. That is a must. Zardy, welcome to the stream. Currently, the best putty that I've tested is Honeywell HT10000. It's a little bit less accessible. You can't get it on some of the online retailers, and I don't know how reliable the listings are, but they might be reliable, and I should buy some to test to, like, just so that we know. But I bought mine from Evgeny KH in Ukraine. He's a Ukrainian YouTuber and thermal interface material reseller. But you know what? We're going to look at the chart here in a split second, and you can kind of see that there's not like a massive difference between the top 6 thermal putties, and that it actually comes down to what your budget is, how fast you need it, and what device you're putting it on. Because if it's a Asus laptop, you don't want to use most thermal putties on the chart at all. There's only a few that are good on an Asus for those super small gaps. I'll clean my calipers later. Plus I need those calipers for work, so. Let's move that out of the way a little bit, eh? There you go. All right. Doing here, we are going to minimize that. And those. All right, let's go to the second screen here. And test bench 2, second screen. And let's just look at the chart for a second. We'll zoom over. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Sorry, let me just do this really quick. Forgot to fill in the blanks. That's no good. These cells are just grabbing data from the main chart over there. So right now, the best putty up at the top here is that Honeywell. There we go. You guys can see the chat. Honeywell HT10000. These are the VRAM delta temperatures from the ETC hash test, which is kind of what I consider the most accurate of my thermal putty tests for measuring the effectiveness of the thermal putty. And right now, yeah, we got Honeywell. It's 48.9 degrees. And then delta, and then UTP-8's 49.4, 49.7 for the Honda, 50.1, 50.3. So like these top putties are within 1.5 degrees. We can't even buy EVGA. So I would consider any of these great. Like you can't go wrong. Both myself and Igor have HT10000 at the top, so consider that it does pull ahead. And you guys should check out Igor's charts too. Right, maybe his rankings up in these top 6 are more accurate, but honestly, if they're within 1.5 degrees, I think you just get with well, go with what you want. Go with your budget, how fast you need it. Some of these are going to be more accessible for you than others. I was just about to TL Spitz mention that Gamers Nexus, video. The video is the main reason why I decided to give the Duranaut paste a shot. Yeah, like it gets really thin. Honestly, I haven't used it thermally, but I used it for like a fit test on my Asus laptop, and it gets like super thin. So hopefully it lasts. Recall the particle size of Honeywell. Yeah, 0.17. So I would recommend not using Honeywell below a gap of 0.5 millimeters. That's my 3 times caliper. That's what I'm saying will work. What else? I still haven't found a better performing paste than Kingpin's KPX cooling paste, but only 1 degree lead. It dries out over time faster than some other quality brands. Yeah, that's too bad. But it's like definitely a solid enthusiast paste. And like, you know, I'm happy for Kingpin just kind of doing his own thing right now with like e-bikes and like his Saron and like just building jumps and kind of just ripping around and figuring out how to cool the motor. and fixing stuff. Like he needs a break from hardware, right? And when he comes back, and I think he will, I think Kingpin will come back and play with hardware again. I think he's just going to come out swinging, and I really hope he does. And if he doesn't, I just hope he's happy. Like he's earned a break after all of the EVGA stuff. Okay, let's get to the data here, because I do need to go to sleep at some point. So we're gonna rename this data. To standard GPU calc sheet. How? I do like my color coding for some reason. Data. I think I have to like click elsewhere after I rename it, not just like move on or something. First time I renamed that tab, it didn't take for some reason. All right, so now we find tab. Any one of the green ones, or the blue, I guess. Let's take it from the blue this time, why not? Right now it's referencing that standard chart. Click up here for select all, go Control F, replace, Control V, data, and replace all. Yeah, his e-bikes are awesome. And it seems like he's in like a good place to fiddle around with them and stuff. GPU core. It's kind of where is ambient with all that? I don't think we're gonna use. Oh, I think it's like locked up on me here. Oof. That's no fun. Let's just give it a couple seconds here. All right. You know, on this one for etc hash, I'm not gonna use hour 2. Look at the. That's a weird change. There's like something's a little bit. The wattage is good. Voltage is good. The fan's spinning like normal average. That's the more important. I should make that bold. That was already bold. I'm gonna use, well, let's see, 54 versus 54.36, and average is 54.34. Yeah, I'm gonna use hour 3 on this one, to be honest, just because it did a weird like temperature change thing there. See, the core is blue, hotspot's yellow, and those actually read in point. Is it 0.1 or is it greater than 0.1 increments? So I would use hour 3 on this one. We'll get a more accurate result on test bench 3. Yeah, there it is again. Man, I gotta get that thing going. etc hash, Vermark, Control F, place all. Do I play Ready or Not? Like by the Fugees? Like Ready or Not, Here I come, you can't hide. Like that song? Or is it a video game? It's probably a video game. I have not played Ready or Not. Is it a... Or is it a board game? What CPU motherboard are you using on your Test Bench 2.1? I'm using an Asus TUF. Hey. Okay. It's the X570 plus Wi-Fi motherboard. It's got a 5900X and a Noctua U12S Chromax Black. Single fan, single tower cooler. And yeah, it seems to do fine. So this is Furmark. Average is 5147. But yeah, we'll use hour 2. Nothing weird looking there. Okay, that voltage rail's not looking great. We're not in melty territory. I still have time. I do need to make it a priority to crimp some new cables though. That just needs to happen before I do another like dozen tests. So we don't want to go to Melty Town again. Melty Town is not a fun place, ladies and gentlemen. Melty Town is a scary place. And I've been there a couple times with this card, so we don't want to... We've overstayed our welcome in Melty Town. The video game. I'll have to check that out. Ready or Not. Alright, so check this out. Hour 2, no bueno. We're not going to use that. Oh, okay, so my house must have... This has got to be weather related, I think. The house must have got warmer. But, okay, check this out. This is good. Good for us to be able to see this. On the left side, right, between these marks, it's 10 degrees, right? 70, 60. So the span here is about, that's about, 64, let's say. We have the data up here, but it's about 64. And down here, it's about 60 to 61. So there was a 3 or 4 degree decrease over the span of 6 hours, or even really 4 hours of the air temperature in the basement of my house. And we could see that both in the core and the hotspot. Right, these temperatures and this chart is not with the ambient temperature calculated in. That's just the raw temperatures, exactly what the sensors were reading over here. Then we've got the two temperature sensors averaged together, giving us for each hour, giving us these results. If we look over here, and it's drawing a line every two seconds, which is why the line looks fuzzy. The reason I do that is we don't want to average it out because we're not going to use hour 2. There was a clear drop in the mining algorithm where it stopped doing work for a second, or who knows how long. Temperatures went down, so we can't rely on that. But look how stable the ambient temperatures are. My temperature in my house changed. My test result didn't. Basically. Not much anyways. Right? 63.5, 63.01, 63.2, 63.2, 62.84, 62.78. So, okay, it went down a little bit, but not tons. Either way, eventually I'll be able to afford having a... Right, not hour 2. We're going to use hour 3. So I'm kind of rambling there, but 63 average. It's kind of fitting that one is getting a pretty solid result. That's why I want to do testing over longer periods when I do start up Test Bench 3, and then and maybe I could even, I might be able to put it in an enclosed space and maybe control its temperature. I'll have to look into that. September 29th. Probably spell that right. Ember 29th. 25. All right, sorry for keeping you guys waiting here. Let's look at how this plugs into the chart. Shoot, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to paste values, not paste the, because then it keeps the size and everything. Putty, Gelid GN Ultimate 6 watt. And we got this from the Thermal store. AXP. Let's see. Just prepping the other charts. Okay. Mark. And Kapow. Let's do the Kapow one first and work backwards to the most accurate chart. 63.0, but it's actually 63.007. There you go. 63.017. So it's actually just ahead of called it. That's cool. You can't really plan that, eh? But pretty sure I was saying yesterday that this one was gonna, I thought it was gonna be basically like U6 Pro, and you know, 0.017, 0.007. That's pretty accurate, but like my test is not that accurate. Like that's just chance that they lined up that closely. Obviously, some of these putties will probably like switch spots and have slight adjustments in their relative values when I go test bench. It's just gonna be so much more accurate. But that's cool that lined up like that, and that's on Furmark. Sorry, that was on Kapow. Furmark 51.6. Let's see how it lines up here. Okay, so it's actually a little bit lower here than the other one. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe they don't line up perfectly. The really telling one is going to be the next one that we do here. ETC hash putty 54.4. So it's going to go. Oh, interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, okay. Well, it's going 54.4. Just ahead of the 236. Which, where is U6 Pro is 53.4. And this stuff's 54.4, so like 1 degree off. I wonder if, oh, did I measure? I did. When did I measure this stuff? No, I gotta measure it again. Let's go do a quick measurement here. And then we'll go back to the charts for a little bit and we'll take a look, but I thought I had measured this already, and then I just don't remember what the value was. So we're going to clean some isopropyl. There we go. So it's going to 0 millimeters, and then we're just going to grab a little dab of putty. Craig just said something. I love being barely able to hear the stream. It's raining hard outside. Is it not loud enough? Oh, no, it's like it's raining hard outside, so it's pouring. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do need to get a micrometer. That's the plan. I am going to call this 0.12 though, because that's what it's, yeah, it's 0.12. So it's actually, what does U6 Pro use? I wonder, because I don't remember that one off the top of my head, but let me just clean this really quick while I'm here with the supplies. All right, second screen again. Two. Where are we looking here? Right here. 0.12. Yeah, see, that didn't work. I'm gonna grab another 0.12. And that 36 is just calculated, but so I just want the same conditional formatting. See, it still equals cell times 3. M22. Yeah. So U6 Pro, I measured at a 0.11. Okay, so they're using, as far as I know, they're using the same ingredients, but the mixtures could still be different percentages of, you know, the powders, and maybe slightly different with the oil even, who knows. Yeah, so it's a decent putty. You know, this is a cheap putty right there. This one's less sticky. Nice for working with your hands. If the price was right, if you were on a GPU and you didn't, that's the thing, is like, if you have the option, get the, we're not going to go there. that one's price is not right. Get these putties. If you want a really stiff putty that you could hit, like, nail hammers in, get the CX. you can't actually nail hammers in. It's not that stiff, but it's extremely stiff for a putty. It's not, I don't enjoy using it. It's quite tough. But if you wanted like a really stiff putty, then hey, that'd be the putty for you, for sure. So yeah, I'll finish updating these charts. That hasn't changed for Mark. Oh shoot, sorry. And then I'll actually I'll post them to the Google Drive, and yeah, make sure I'll also post them to the Discord. Did we do this one? 54.4. We did. So delete that. The charts are getting cumbersome. The only chart that still kind of makes sense is the putty only, because it's like still a decent size. Yeah, but I don't want to like disclude the other ones because it's good data for those that want to stare at it for longer. So if you're into first-person shooter games, and whenever you have a chance, check it out. Definitely a fun co-op first-person shooter. I'll definitely have to, ready or not, I'll have to check that out, because I do like first-person shooter games. Lately, I've mostly just been playing Helldivers 2. Like, it's been the only game I've been playing for the last, almost the only game I've been playing for the last year. A little bit of Fortnite with my buddy. Occasionally hop on DayZ and run around for a little bit, and then I'm trying to think if I played any Ark Survival Evolved this year or not. I don't think so. Oh, the finals. I'll play a little bit of the finals. Counter-Strike Go, I guess. Or no, Counter-Strike 2. I haven't been into Counter-Strike as much recently. In recent years, I would say. It has a different feel than it used to for me, so I don't like loot boxes. I don't know. Yeah, just a different game. A good game, just different than how I first experienced it. So, guys, I think that's it for tonight. I'm tired. I would like to post these charts. It's already like 10:20, and then I gotta wake up in a few hours and hit the road, go to work. So that'll be a nice long day, and then I'll be working for a few days. So you have Helldivers 2, but nobody to play with. Well, we could probably make that happen sometime. Yeah, man, that'd be cool. We'll definitely have to link up TL Spits and play some Helldivers. I think you're in the Discord server, hey? Yeah, either way. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I'm going to take off now and get some good sleep, but I will catch you guys on the next one. Snarks Domain out.